So you really want to ask yourself, what should I be looking out for in choosing a school? And I will tell you this straight up: the needs of your child.
Welcome to School Talk Cafe. Another beautiful time here with us, and my name is Adeaya, and of course with me is
Sele.
See how you always say the name with such
I like
pompa.
my name.
You like your name?
I like my name now.
It's good to like your name. It has meaning. It's good to like your name. All right, so you're a veteran and you've had experience with this particular topic that we're going to be dealing with, and we're looking at school hunting today. And my question is to you out there: what is the criteria that you take and you check before you pick a school for your child? So back to you, as the bunge on this matter. With years of experience.
When you call me a veteran, I wonder what you are.
Upcoming.
Because you've also had to do school hunting.
Yes,
just like I have. And I would say the same number of times that I've had to do school hunting, you have three times for you too. So how come I'm the veteran? Anyway, don't let's dwell on that.
Let's not do that this morning. All right, so
yes,
school hunting.
School hunting. A lot of times when you see parents hunting for schools for their children, maybe they just moved to a new area, or the children are coming of a certain age and they want to move them from primary to secondary, or the children have just grown to start attending primary school, and you're thinking, okay, what primary school should my child attend?
What creche?
Maybe creche.
Creche is a big deal.
I know it's a big deal, but well, okay, fine. Creche, primary, secondary is still hunting anyway. So what is the criteria?
Yeah.
Now, most times, I don't think parents think deeply about this. We just go with the socials. You know, we look at the social environment. Basically, Yemi's mom takes Yemi to XYZ school, and it looks quite okay. So hey, please, share that school is okay, and the woman says yes, it's fine. So well, okay now.
So what's the definition of the word fine?
Good. So we're going there now. When somebody says to you the school is okay, and you take it hook, line, and sinker, without even asking what is your definition of okay? Does it suit my definition of okay? Because if you really drill down, you'll find out that those definitions of okay are not exactly okay.
Yes.
What you might look at as okay might not be okay to the other person, or might not even be an issue at all
because
to
our
be
values
considered.
are different.
Yes, because we have varied value systems that we run our lives by, different life philosophies and all of that. So that blanket statement is okay or is fine might not just cut it or suffice really. So you really want to ask yourself, what should I be looking out for in choosing a school? And I will tell you this straight up: the needs of your child above every other thing. There are other factors, but the needs of your child is the key thing.
Okay.
Now, I will be speaking more to the moms, because for some reason it's the moms that do the school hunting. I don't know, maybe it's because the fathers are working or so, but you have a lot of career moms now.
Exactly, but
and yet you still find out that it's the moms who do the school hunting. So kudos to the moms. Kudos to them.
I collect it on their behalf.
Yes, please. Do collect it. I speak more to the moms, not that the dads are not involved or anything. And so whoever is a dad watching this should also know that even if you're not actively going to be the one with the boots on ground looking for those schools, you should be able to guide your
very
wife
very, very important.
to say, hey, let's talk about the needs of this child, and then let's look for a school that will meet those needs. So however, what you have now is parents looking at social status of maybe a neighbor or neighbors around vis-a-vis themselves and saying, okay, I think we are on the same social status as Mr. and Mrs. X or Y or Z, or we want to measure up to these people. And so whatever schools their children are attending should be good for us too. Since, I mean, we're looking at them or looking up to them somewhat, or we are the same, you know, so hey, if it's good for them, then it's good for us. But your children are not the same.
They're not the same.
Your children don't reason the same way. They don't assimilate the same way. And so, okay, so let's go back to the needs of your child. What kind of child do you have? And when I say what kind, I'm not talking about any other thing than their mannerisms, their character traits, and all of that, you know, their personality that they have exhibited, that you've observed so far.
If you have observed.
And then if you've not observed, then you need to start observing that keenly, because that will go a long way. You have a child who is easily distracted, and you want a school where there's serious focus on the child, and there's discipline, and they are known for that discipline. So your child learns discipline, and it helps the child stay focused, and so he or she doesn't get easily distracted. And then the class size is such that the teacher will spot a child just like that if he or she is
fiddling around,
you know, and all of that. So then you want a school where they're known for the teachers having patience with the children, because these days you have teachers who just want ready-made students. The child is brilliant, he knows everything, so I don't have to do much. He pays the teacher that way, and that's what they're looking for. So any child who is not, in quote, conforming to that ideal, then it's a difficult child, it's a slow learner, if the child is a slow learner, then give the child, I mean, thank God you spotted that out as a teacher. So what do?
And by slow learning,
you come and complain back to the parent and say, this child is slow and all. So
you need to adjust your teaching style.
A sick person goes to the hospital to get healing. You don't want people who are already healthy in the hospital. There's no need. There's no need for them. So if the child has certain learning deficiencies, maybe not even slow learning or whatever, finds it difficult to understand math problems or comprehension, English and all, that's your job as a teacher. But you find out that most teachers these days just complain about the child, and when you say, okay, so what's the solution?
Extra lesson.
They say, come and do extra lesson. Now, and this is not me knocking extra lessons, because extra lessons at times are very much needed, but it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Okay, it's not. So, the needs of the child, I would say, yes, academic needs, and even based on the child's character traits is key. It is from there that you start to pick, you know, what kind of school that your child will go to. Then you should also be looking at proximity to the house, you know.
Very important.
Yes, very, very important, proximity to the house. Really, it's not advisable that your children should be schooling so far off. But I know parents are tempted to do that because, this school has a big reputation for this, why, that. And so they don't mind, you know, doing that. At times, it might not be proximity to the house, but proximity to your place of work, especially if you close early enough. If you close early enough, then okay, you know that around closing time, you can just get to your child's school, pick the child, and then, or if your office has some kind of way of accommodating children after school, fine, then you just dash to school, bring the child to the office environment, put them where the office has provided as a daycare of some sort. And
many offices still do that though.
Some do, but it's really not common. But it would be nice if you have more offices doing that, because you'll be surprised about the productivity that you gain from those workers when you do that. But it's not common. It's not common, you know. So those are the things basically that you might also want to consider. Then some for religious concerns, they say, okay, I'm a Muslim, I want a school that will, you know, inculcate Muslim values into my child. Same thing with Christian schools too. Why do people patronize Christian schools? It's the same reason, no difference, same. And so, yeah, because I'm looking at your facial expression and you're wondering, and it's the same reason. It's no difference.
But we had other faiths that were going to faith-based schools, and there were no issues.
Well, I'm not saying there are issues. I'm saying that parents have this belief that I want my child to grow up a better Christian than just going to a regular secular school. So I put the child in a Christian school. Same thing for the Muslims. I want a child who will have the Islamic values that I grew up with. And so I go to inculcated into the school curriculum. And so I choose an Islamic school to send my child to.
So we're saying that
those are reasons.
One major criteria for choice of school is faith and moral values of the parents.
Yes.
Okay. I hope you're listening to that. Okay.
So when you look at all of that, but I still say above all of that is the child. You see, all those other things, you are projecting what you
yourself
on the child, which as a parent you should to a large extent. But then it's not at the risk of stifling the child's personality and character. Of course, you should help the child form good habits, good moral values, and all of that. But also in terms of learning, because that's why the child is going to school, really,
to learn.
Because if it's about the morals and the
character, that at home, really.
that should come from the home. It should come from the home. That's your job as a parent.
Whatever the school does is just an addition.
The school is just helping you do extra. So that shouldn't be a key criteria per se. You know, and we've seen parents who send their children to secular schools, but they still raise them up as good Muslims, good Christians, you know, and they don't deviate from that.
Because many of the so-called, and I'm going to say this, many of the so-called Christian schools are really not Christian schools. We just have the tag in front of them, and whatever is being done is still the same as what. In fact, it's even difficult to know what the secular schools anymore, because really it has the tag of a Christian school, but it's really just a secular school. So I get that.
That's another discussion for another day. You agree?
I totally agree.
So let's talk about school hunting.
School hunting. So we have schools with different curriculums. We have the Nigerian curriculum, which is our own curriculum. We have the ACE, the Accelerated Christian Education curriculum. We have the Montessori. We have we have so many schools with different curriculums. Some have tried to mix the Nigerian with every other thing. Some have said they are fully British curriculum or they are fully this. So depending on what you want your child involved in, some say they are taking their kids out of the country, so the curriculum they want to have from here is one that suits wherever they're taking their child to. But then what happens if the child doesn't go out of the country?
Well, I believe if the child doesn't go out of the country, that doesn't mean that the child won't have learned anything or won't be effective to himself or herself.
Okay, so we have.
So my own is this: you know what all these curricula are saying, whether it's British, whether it's American, whether it's whatever, AC, Montessori. Montessori happens to be Italian, isn't it? Yes.
I think so,
has its roots.
Yeah, in Italian, but it's supposed to be like one-on-one. You and the child, one-on-one, give each child his own attention and all that.
So, how do you know which one is best for your child?
That's the question we're asking you, sir.
No, not me. We're discussing. I'm not here to answer everybody's questions. We're here to talk about it and then ask those who know more to comment more. And then how do parents make the best of school hunting?
Yeah.
Or how do our mothers, especially because they form the larger percentage of those who hunt for schools. So how do they make those decisions and make it right?
So when I'm choosing a school, let me bring it home. When I'm choosing a school, I go in there, I look at the environment. First, one of the things I'm looking for is I'm looking to listen to how the teachers communicate amongst themselves, and even
how do you spot that?
You will know. Once you walk into a school, you will know whether it's fake or not. You will know communication between teachers. You will know how teachers respect each other or not. You will know whether there's hostility in that environment. You will know by how they talk. People slip up, and something that has been done over a period of time, it just happens. You can be in an office and then maybe the cleaner just shouts somewhere at somebody somewhere, or you see how maybe it's daycare and then you see how the nanny handles the child, unconscious that you are there.
So really, there's that part where you have to actually go to the location and observe.
Yes, I just do that.
Okay.
Because I know that people have a way of fronting. So for me, school hunting is intentional, because that's where I'm going to be leaving my kids at when I'm not there. Especially if you have younger children who can't come home to really explain what has happened in school, then you have to be doubly intentional about. So I do that. I sneak in, I check, I just go around and see how kids are being handled. I see conversation between head teacher and teacher. I hear how the head teacher talks. I hear how the class teacher talks. And even after I have put the kids in, I still observe those things. So for me, that's key. When I look at the safety environment of the child, for me, are there story buildings in the school? If they're secondary school, then there are story buildings, fine. If it's just nursery and primary and you have story buildings without proper guardrails, I'm also very skeptical, because from experience, I've seen that teachers are not exactly as observant as they're supposed to be. And so if you have story buildings with little kids, and how are you? When I was in primary school, all the classrooms were down. There were no story buildings. But then now I see that there are like 2 story buildings in different schools and all that.
Space management, I guess.
Space management, and then not enough play space.
For me, that's very key.
That's it.
When you have a school that and well, should I even be apologizing? I don't think there are any apologies for that. It's just a converted
3-bedroom flat.
not 3-bedroom flat. What you call duplex, either detached or semi-detached duplex. What you say, upstairs and downstairs. And you convert that into a school. I really don't like that kind of school for any child, because what you're doing is, inside that small compound, all the children come out during break and they are playing, or they don't even come out at all. They stay in the classrooms, and it's really not healthy. Children need space to play, to run around, to do anything they want to do, instead of confining them into that small space. So for me, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. I know, yes, how for do. Nigerian economy and all of that, and you have such neighborhood schools, sprawling all over the cities, and people just feel, okay, it's my neighbor's school, so let's all just put the children there. And,
but does that neighbor have vision to expand?
Apart from even the vision to expand, I don't want to put my children's future in the hands of somebody who is doing their business. What about my own business, which is that child? You understand? So for me, it's not what I would jump at. There are a lot of old schools that have the space we're talking about, and they have some good teachers. I would rather put my child in that one and then make sure that I have, you see that extra lesson, that's where I will now go to it. That I will now vote for that extra lesson and make sure that, okay, you're getting some things from that side and I'm augmenting here on the home front. I'd rather do that than keep them in a place where, the curriculum is very restrictive, because you don't even have the facilities to carry those things out.
I agree. Another thing for me is the rate of teacher turnover in schools. Recently, our state of where we reside, the state government did their education, their teacher enrollment and all that, and many private schools in the state lost their teachers. Because teachers just did an exodus
from private to government.
To government.
Why?
Job security, payment. You don't want to hear the amount, the salary that private schools are paying their teachers.
But they make so much money. How come?
I don't understand it.
Or maybe we need to look at school administration and
you know, shake a table.
Maybe we need to just x-ray. Yeah, one of the episodes we need to just x-ray. Okay, a school is charging XYZ amount, and it's really on the high side. So what goes into making sure that school maintains that top-notch service that they're giving you? What goes into it in terms of naira and kobo? And how come they cannot pay staff very well? You know, pay them well, commensurate to what you are asking the parents to pay. So shouldn't the teachers get a good trickle down of that money, you know, coming to them?
But I remember, and I won't call the name of the school, but I'm sure if you're listening to me, you know it's you. I remember a particular school in Abuja, we're paying good, and it was a school in an estate, and we're paying good, only for me to find out that teachers were leaving. One teacher was in my daughter's class. She left. She gave me her reasons. Why? She gave me her reasons. Then the teacher in my son's class, which I was a lot closer to, gave me reasons, and one of those reasons, apart from being the fact that the owner of the school was really difficult and was doing, there was a lot of politics and a very small school like that, but was the fact that the salary didn't make sense. And when she told me the salary, I couldn't close my mouth. I couldn't close it. I'm telling you, because I was like, Ladio water and so.
Interpretation.
Oh no, I don't know. Okay, with the amount of money we are paying, that was what she could pay a very vibrant teacher, a teacher who was the core, the foundational class, grade 1. That teacher poured her everything into the children. That even when the children were leaving to grade 2, they were saying they didn't want to go. They were crying. They were like, no, they don't want to go. Who is in grade 2? Even I had to go and check who is in grade 2. Can this teacher match up? She left.
Oh, but she will, because everybody wants good things for themselves.
She left and went into a school setting. She went into an office setting. So the educational system has just lost one person.
Wow.
So for me,
turnover.
Exactly, turnover. So I've learned that, and it's also a reason why decisions are also being made again. Because I'm wondering, okay, school hunting is key for me, because the child has to be comfortable. The child has to be mentally comfortable, emotionally comfortable. Yeah. We don't want teachers who also use swear languages in school. And you may not really know that until you already put the child in.
I was just going to say that would be very difficult to find out. Except you want to talk to a child who's already in the school, you going through the parents or something. The parents. So maybe when you're talking to parents,
ask those key questions. Not how is the school? Is it okay? Let the parent know what the definition of is it okay. Your own okay. Ask those critical questions. I think that's something we need to be.
So can we do a recap before we round up this?
Okay, so recap of what you need to be looking for academic excellence, based on the different curricula that are available. You know what you want for your child, so you pick that.
But like I said, you also need to be looking for your child's needs. Does he have any extra special needs, or is just a regular child? Or you need to understand that child first. That is when you know what best suits the child. That's where it all starts from. Then all these other things that
you teacher turnover, ask questions, look at is it antecedents or precedents of what has happened in the school. If you're in secondary school, look at what the JAM result has been for that school. I'm pretty sure it wasn't doctored. Look at what WAEC results have been. Find out, did they go and pay the WAEC center? Did they go and pay the JAM center? Or those kids were actually taught? Are those kids actually, because we have a lot of schools and I've seen them everywhere, where at the end of every academic year, the school just puts a billboard out there of the highest scoring kids. Those things may have been doctored, so you need to ask those questions. Then teacher turnover. You want to know extracurricular activity. They do sports. They do whatever extracurricular activity suits you. And then morals and values. You want to be sure that the school that you want to pick is going to be enforcing the morals and the values that you are bringing in from home as well. You don't want to be teaching your child a certain thing at home, then the teacher or the school system is countering what you're saying. So those are the criteria you need to be looking out for when you're picking a school. And don't just look at the number of cars and the kind of cars, and then don't laugh, don't do that. The kind of cars that are driving in school.
But we know people do that.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I'm even still tempted to do that once in a while, because I want to know, and let me give you the reason why. If I look at the kind of cars that are coming into a school premises, it gives me a certain idea of the kind of people I'm expecting.
No, but I don't agree. That's superficial.
Well, now this is my superfluosity.
You have all sorts of funny people making money and buying lovely cars.
I totally agree.
And so when you look at the cars and you don't look at the how do I put it now? The philosophies that bring those cars to birth. Then there's a problem there.
I agree. That's why it's not the only criteria. That's why it's not the only criteria. But it gives you an idea of the kind of families you're going to be expecting to meet in that school. Now you know that people get their money from different ways. We know that. So if I'm having the G-Wagons and the whatever and the everything coming to that school, I also know back of my head that somehow there's going to be some wrong upbringing in that school, because we have some sports kids from this kind of background.
No, even if you're looking at people from either poor or average background, there's still the issue of poor upbringing or poor or morally bankrupt children, because they are coming from morally bankrupt homes.
Backgrounds, exactly.
So it's not about the cars, but you see those cars, please. Don't let's use it at all. Honestly, don't let's even tell people to do.
Okay, let's not tell you. We're not telling you. We're not telling you to look at the card, but we're saying, hey, whatever works for you, based on you and based on what you want to achieve for your child, is what you should be. Are we going to take a picture of that? Yeah, is what you should be looking for when picking it. You should go and look at Kai alone. Don't say it's me that told you that too. Anyway, all right, this has been you want to see any other thing?
No, basically we've said the much we can say on this episode, but like I always say, it's not exhausted yet. There's so many more things, there's so many more angles, and we're trusting that you watching us will go to the comment section, comment please, like, share, because we need to hear from you. We need those comments coming in. It might just even make us go back to this same episode and do a more elaborate one, based on what we've heard from you. So please don't forget to comment. We need your comments in the comment section. And subscribe, please, like and share. Thank you. Till we come your way, same time next week. It's bye from me.
Bye.
Bye from Adeayo also. Take care.